Everybody knows The Simpsons. It's literally one of the longest-running series in the United States. But beyond the satire, the chaos, and the dysfunctional family with their crazy adventures, there is a dark secret. For many years, The Simpsons seem to have dropped predictions and prophecies that have proven to be very accurate. From the predictions of the 2020 COVID-19 outbreak to the rise of Kamala Harris as the first black female vice president, The Simpsons have operated on an unprecedented level of accuracy. So, what do they have to say about the year 2024? Get ready to be amazed as we examine 17 shocking predictions that The Simpsons have predicted for 2024. Number 1. Zombie apocalypse. This one may seem to be more of a stretch, but it's one of The Simpsons' predictions that still hasn't come to pass, so we can't rule anything out. In this chilling episode, a zombie apocalypse takes over the fictional city of Springfield, home to The Simpsons. While the possibility of a real zombie apocalypse is really slim, we can't dispute this as just mere fiction, considering the fact that about 30 of the seemingly simple scenes from this series have come to pass in real life. We will be doing ourselves a disservice by discounting these scenes as mere works of fiction. But at the end of the day, The Simpsons is just a comic series, and many of these prophecies are just coincidental, right? We'll have to wait and see how everything plays out in the year 2024. Number 2, Barbie movie release and Trump's arrest. Although this one is not really a prediction for 2024, it still deserves a mention because of how astonishingly accurate it is. You could call it an honorable mention. Remember when Trump got arrested on the same day the new Barbie movie came out? Well, The Simpsons predicted that many years ago. An episode in season 5 of The Simpsons features a scene where a news anchor delivers the news of the uncanny coincidence between the release of a new Barbie doll and a president's arrest. In this episode titled Lisa versus Malibu Stacy, news broke of the release of the rip-off version of the Barbie doll. After giving an extensive 28-minute report of the Barbie doll release, the news anchor casually mentions that the US president had been arrested just before closing the show.
Though it was unusual to spend 28 minutes reporting on a doll, it's just really fascinating news, folks. Good night. Oh, and the president was arrested for murder. More on that tomorrow night.
This is reminiscent of the circumstances surrounding the arrest of former President Donald Trump on April 4, 2023, an event that went underreported, as many news outlets preferred to focus on the new Barbie movie. How could this real-life event be so related to a simple fictional comic series? We really cannot tell. This occurrence is a testament to the strategy employed by the media, where much attention is given to an insignificant event when something absolutely major is going on. Have you ever seen your favorite new channel air an extensive report on something absolutely irrelevant while the world burns? That's exactly what we're talking about. It's everywhere and we just can't escape it. Number 3, World War III. On November 22, 1987, a special episode of The Simpsons aired on The Tracy Ullman Show. And although it was very hilarious, there might be a hidden message in there somewhere. Before you accuse us of grasping for straws, consider the fact that many of the accurate predictions made in this show were sometimes simple side notes that nobody really paid attention to. Anyway, the episode centers around Homer Simpson repeatedly pranking his family with World War III scares. Many times during the episode, he would wake them up, asking them to rush into the fallout shelter, as if it was the end of the world.
It's World War III!
Would a makeshift shelter in the house of an ordinary American man shield him and his family in the case of a nuclear fallout? We'll leave that for the Mythbusters to figure out. While this episode was considered satire, on the eventual occasion that a serious conflict between the world powers begins to play out, many American households could find themselves reenacting the scenes in this episode. As it stands, we are way closer to this Third World War than we were when the episode aired. First, we had a World War scare in 2020, before the virus came. Secondly, if you study world politics very carefully and the many conflicts that have erupted in many places around the world, you will see that our world is not at peace. Although we are not at war, we are far from experiencing a peaceful existence. Could 2024 be the year when everything reaches its peak and all the nations bring out their big guns to wipe everybody out? We certainly hope not, and we advocate for peace in every country where war is currently ongoing. Number 4, economic collapse. Okay, we're back to our predictions of doom and gloom. So, is the United States headed for a serious economic collapse that could send us right back to times like the Depression? Economic analysts seem to think so. By studying the trajectory of the economic nosedive the country has taken, expert economists predict the United States could experience some really terrible times in the coming year. But let's face it, this is not a unique problem. Every single country in the world is going through hard times right now. With the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Ukraine-Russia war, and several other conflicts around the world, it's a miracle our civilization has not collapsed. So, what exactly does this have to do with The Simpsons, you ask? Well, they warned us about it back in the year 2000, in an episode titled Bart to the Future. Now, you will agree that this is one of the most famous episodes in the series, and a vocal point for many people who seek to extract prophecies from the series, just like us. But the accuracy is so unsettling. Get this, according to the episode, the economic collapse occurs during Donald Trump's presidency. Before you argue that Trump is not the current president, consider the fact that this former president is also contesting for presidency in 2020, so you can connect the dots from there. Spoken like a true conspiracy theorist, right? Well, chances are, if you're watching this video, you're also quite the conspiracy theorist yourself, aren't you? Number 5. Willie Nelson goes for a swim. Not every single prediction from The Simpsons speaks of doom and the end of the world. Some are pretty much satirical, like this one, which aired in October 1991, where the iconic country singer-songwriter swam through the English Channel to the massive adoration of his fans. Willie Nelson is one of the most recurrent characters in the series, where he usually plays himself. But not everything about this series is made with utmost accuracy concerning dates, history, facts, and the perception of the future. Why the writers decided to include this skit of Willie Nelson swimming across the English Channel is unclear to us. But this is where we need to consider the fact that beyond the correct predictions and the accurate prophecies, The Simpsons is simply an animated movie, and the aim is not to tell you what the future holds. Some of these writers were just having fun as they wrote. So, will Willie Nelson swim across the English Channel in real life in 2024? Well, probably not. Why, you ask? He's 90 years old as it is now, so we're pretty sure such a daunting task is not high on his bucket list. If he ever decides to attempt such a feat, though, it would be a very interesting sight to witness. Number 6. Music-induced mind control. The government is trying to control you through a series of subconscious processes. This was the message many people got from the 14th episode of The Simpsons' 12th season. But can we really blame anyone for overthinking The Simpsons' predictions? After all, they've been right so many times. In this particular episode, a music producer selects Bart, Nelson, Milhouse, and Ralph to form the next hit boy band party posse. Sick name, right? But beneath the surface, there was a diabolical plan at play. In their hit song, Dropped a Bomb, which was accompanied by a music video that featured the strange line "Even eat Neo J" in the chorus. Party Posse subconsciously controlled the minds of the listeners, passing a subliminal message. When you spell this strange line backwards, it reads, "Join the Navy." As the music spread far and wide, it began to take effect on the entire population of Springfield. During a confrontation with the music director, Lisa discovered that he was indeed a Navy lieutenant, and according to him, music had long been used to recruit young men into the military. This was especially true during the Second World War, that is, in the real world. During the war, the United States sought to weaponize entertainment as a form of propaganda, citing cinema as one of the most powerful propaganda weapons at the disposal of the United States. That indeed is a direct quote from the Office of Strategic Services, now known as the CIA. Many people have also been raising questions about the nature of music in this age, with catchy, repetitive lyrics and hypnotic tunes. Have we been silently controlled by the government for many years, unknown to us? Will we see this play out even more in 2024? This topic has been a gold mine for conspiracy theorists who exploit the opportunity of such a discourse to showcase their many theories on the subject of entertainment and the government. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. Through the years, many have been astonished as the predictions and prophecies made by The Simpsons come to pass one by one. From the death of Kobe Bryant to an accurate prediction of a Super Bowl scoreline, the series has proven itself to be an accurate predictor of future events. Most people were especially blown away when their predictions of Trump running for the presidency in 2024 came to pass. While these happenings may all be phenomenal, we must understand that all these are simple coincidences. Or at least that's what the producers would like us to believe. But there are conspiracy theories, wild, wild ones that speculate that something else must be brewing behind the scenes. Do you think there is more to these accurate depictions? Or are they just simple coincidences like everyone wants to believe? Share your thoughts on this with us in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.